Yeah, that's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks. Johnny's internet's back. The Wi-Fi's back. And I got some stuff I need to get out before this Navy game edition of the Always Irish show. Dude, you guys are the best, man. I wake up early in the morning. The Wi-Fi on my phone doesn't work. I'm like, there's something wrong with my phone. I'll check my laptop, but nothing works there. The TV doesn't work. And then I figured out there's a town-wide outage of the internet or whatever. So in the chat, people were still talking in the chat. People were reaching out to me like, bro, are you dead? Because you're never a minute late. So I appreciate it. We're so consistent here. Whenever one little thing is off, the alarm bells go off. Multiple people text me like, are you okay? Because you're never late. I appreciate you guys checking in on your boy. And the other thing that's funny is a whole bunch of you guys in the chat were like, oh, geez, I guess I'm going to have to like go to work or pay attention to work. I love you guys. Thank you for being so loyal. I don't know what to do, but here's the deal. Whenever you have one of those like internet power TV outages, I always feel worse if it's just my house. You get what I'm saying? If it's citywide or something, there's nothing you could do to fix it, messing with your wires or rebooting everything or whatever. If it's the whole city, and it is because I went to the gym and they didn't have their TVs on or no music or anything. When it's a whole city, I feel a lot better because it's not just me with the problem and I'm back there messing with wires that I don't know what they do, whatever. And the other thing is, if it's just John's house, nobody's in a hurry to come fix that. When it's a whole city and everybody's mad because they can't work, then they get right on it. So I figured I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get a good little exercise in. I'm going to come back and hope it's back. It's back, baby. And so am I. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little fun thing. We're going to do the Friday 5. And I'm going to hit some of the bullet points that I wanted to hear from you guys on the morning live stream that we didn't get to. So I'm going to do a Friday 5. Hit some bullet points that are in my mind as we get ready for Navy. I'll tell you this. I'm just glad this didn't happen on a game day. And honestly, my internet's been perfect for a long time. I haven't had any issues. I guess we got a big storm that came through at 3 a.m. and I slept right through it. And I wake up, nothing. So here we are. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it, subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Get a video thumbs up. That helps Yanni out as well. Notifications on so you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish, rat Always Irish Inc. Emails Always Irish at gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you can get it. If you don't want to see my stupid face, nobody blames you. Go to the audio only. As if my voice is any better than my face. But you can do both or do one. But you're stuck with me. Notre Dame on SI. Read all about it. Got something for you every single day that I have internet. At least patreon.com/Always Irish. Here's the good thing. I did a nice 27-minute episode the other day and scheduled it to come out this morning. So you guys, even though I wasn't available, I already scheduled it to go live. And so you guys have a nice video there on Patreon digging into some very specific Notre Dame playoff details. So thanks to everybody that's there. We have a great group. So hopefully we have a deep playoff run for us all to enjoy. All right. Here we is. Right in the middle of a playoff battle. And the way I see this is, listen, you can never take any games for granted. But to me, you're as close to a 2-game season to the playoff as you could get. Navy's tricky because of all the weird Navy-ness. And we already know that's going to be a tough ball game. I already went over it a million times this week with Pitt. You got to beat Navy, obviously. But with Pitt, they're on a bye week. They're trending up. They should be undefeated. The 2 games they lost, they're winning by double digits late in the game in both. They're trending up. They got a quarterback they like. You have a head coach that hates you. You're going to their place at noon, and they have a bye week to prepare. That's a big one. I don't think this Notre Dame team's going to lose to Syracuse or Stanford. So to me, you're in a 2-game window here to the playoff. And I'm not trying to disrespect Syracuse or Stanford, but let's just be real. Those 2 games don't present the challenges Navy does with the unique way they play, and then Pitt with Narduzzi. Oh, I hate Notre Dame. I'm mad about everything. Got to shut that guy up once and for all. So let's do a Friday 5. Let me just go over 5 things that are in my mind. Maybe it's more than 5. I can't even count. Here's the first one. You got to play efficient football to beat Navy. You got to play clean football to beat Navy. That's why Navy's always a good test, because it tests your discipline. It tests your ability to run a tight operation and be real precise with what you're doing on offense and on defense. You got to play clean ball. And especially offensively, Notre Dame doesn't always play clean ball. You can't go in here thinking you could have empty possessions. You know, you miss on short yardage or in the red zone. You can't. I would usually say settle for 3 instead of 7. You can't even kick 3. It's not even an option. So you got to score. You can't even make an extra point. Forget field goals. So, and then here's the other thing. Did you see they're going to go with Schmidt for the place kicking? He's the young guy, right? I understand it, because if everyone you have is no good, you may as well try and get the young guy experience. It's going to be here for a while. See if he can work through it. If they're all bad and none of them can make an extra point, I guess go with the young guy, try and develop them. I think this is mental, and I don't know how you develop out of that once it's in your head. But if none of them can make kicks, I understand going with the young guy with the big leg. But I'm entering the back part of this schedule figuring no field goals, no extra points. You can't count on either. Talking about playoff team top 10, you can't even rely on an extra point. I got a problem with that. I got a real problem with it. I don't know how a place like Notre Dame ends up in a position like this. I really don't get it. You're doing something wrong. Or you're getting the wrong people or the wrong, something isn't right. And I don't know when, but it's going to come bite you in the ass again. You can't make an extra point. Forget field goals. That's out. It's just out. You can't do it. So the one thing Navy's good for is it makes you be precise to beat them. You can't jack around and beat Navy. So you're going to find out how put together Notre Dame is. On offense, it's just you can't afford penalties, turnovers, fumbles going in the end zone, stalled drives, short yardage failure, red zone. You can't get in from the 5. You can't make a field goal. Those are all problems Notre Dame's offense has had recently. You better get over it. You better get over it real quick. Okay? So you can't afford any of those inefficiencies when you're looking at getting 3 to 4 less possessions in a game, 2.5. You don't have the margin. That's Navy's game. Shorten the game. You don't have the possessions. You better score with the ones you have. Telling you. So that's the first thing. Here's the second thing. I feel like when Notre Dame lines up to defend Navy, it could go a couple ways. Way number one is they're all over it from the beginning. They got them nailed. They know what they're doing. Everybody knows their assignments. You're in the backfield by the time the ball's snapped. You're blowing stuff up, causing problems like last year. Or it's, it's confusion. And it's, we're not where we need to be. And we're not very disciplined. And we don't crisply tackle. We're dragging guys for 4 or 5 yards down the field. We're reading and react. That always gets me. We're just going to read and react against Navy. By the time you read and react against Navy, that fullback is 5.5 yards down your throat. There is no time to read and react against Navy. You have bigger, faster, better athletes. Crash downhill, 2-4-7, and cause disruption before they get in a rhythm back there. That's the answer. It's the only answer. It's always been the answer of how Notre Dame defends Navy successfully. Use your athletes, crash in there with discipline, and disrupt their timing before they get in any rhythm. Assignment sound, aggressive penetration, but under control. Somebody contain the edge. Somebody has the fullback. Somebody has a pitch guy. Somebody have their eyes on the quarterback. Like, it just needs to be disciplined, aggressive chaos at the line of scrimmage. Not wild. That's how you get out of your spot and something happens. Controlled aggression and penetration. That's what she said. That's what I need. Okay? Here's the added layer to this, defending Navy recently. This is in my mind. Notre Dame's defense is getting back to some really respectable numbers. I know all the different outlets have been talking about the one stat. 124th in the country of allowing 20-plus pass plays in a game. And what did you allow? 6 or 8 of them against 1-7 BC even? Terrible. Terrible. So I got this little worry in my head that we're all crashing downhill to stop Navy's run and crash the line of scrimmage. Everybody's flying downhill. And then the quarterback keeps it, and then he throws it. And a submariner is out there, and no Notre Dame guys there because they bit on the run. And he's running free, wide open down Notre Dame's field. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for that. I'm not interested in that. So you better have it all put together. And you're going to know quickly whether we do or don't. You better have it all put together. They're going to eat up 9.5 minutes of the clock on you, wear you down, you go 3 and out, Price fumbles again. That's how you lose to Navy. This team has been through too much this year. I'm not here for this to go down this way. So you better be on top of it. And the other thing is, if we're going with the theory that like we were sluggish against BC because half of the off week was focused on Navy, well, then you better play good against Navy. If that's what we're going with, you better do good then. Here's the third thing. You got to get out of Navy by multiple scores as soon as you can. Throw them off their game completely. You got to get out of these guys as early as you can. Totally messes up their game. Get them in a position where they cannot afford to just slowly go down the field 4 yards at a time with the run and eat up 9 minutes. You got to find a way to get up on these guys by a couple touchdowns or more to mess up their plan of how they want to do this. Again, we find ourselves in a position where it's a home game. It's at night. I know it's going to be some iffy weather, maybe cold and rainy. No one is piling into Notre Dame Stadium to see a 7-7 score halfway into the second quarter against Navy. It just can't be. Can Notre Dame jump someone's bones early for once? Once in a long time, at least. Like, can you get out to a good start early on somebody? I feel like it's been a while. Wasn't BC. It definitely wasn't USC. You let them go right down the field and score on you. So, like, can you get off to a good start at home? Getting ahead of them by multiple scores as early as you can is a key here. And I need to see it, and I want ND to be it. Okay? Here's another thing I got for you. Here's a fourth thing. Navy isn't BC. Okay, they're not 1-7, whatever. Okay, but you're a 25.5 point favorite the last I checked. Do you expect Notre Dame to blow these guys out for you to be happy? Remember the BC thing? You didn't cover the 30 and everybody was mad or whatever. I'm wondering, it's 25.5 against Navy. I'm wondering, do you guys have that same expectation of covering that spread and blowing them out? Or does that change a little bit because you understand how Navy wants to shorten the game? Because that's another big spread, and I'm a little surprised by it, but just the mere fact of how much they shorten that stupid game whenever you play them. I'm just wondering, if you guys have that same expectation of blowing them out the same way many of us did against BC. I'm wondering about that. Weather impact, cold and rainy. There's a little bit of a narrative starting that Carr isn't the best wet ball thrower. Are you going to have to test that theory again? A part of me feels like it's another one of them games where Notre Dame either blows them out, kicks crap out of them, or it comes down to who's got the ball late in the fourth quarter. And on a rainy, cold night game in South Bend with your playoff dreams on the line, the last thing anybody in Notre Dame Nation is here for is whoever has the ball last might win it against Navy and doing that whole sweat it out thing. I am not interested in that, bro. Not interested. And then here's the final thing I want to say. What a beautiful scene that's unfolding on the internet and social media of everybody losing their mind over Notre Dame. Everybody pissed off about Notre Dame's ranking and join a conference and you don't deserve this or that. Make Notre Dame join a conference, all this different stuff. The same tropes that come out anytime anything happens with Notre Dame. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let all these people lose their minds and be mad. And here's the thing I always bring up. All of these join a conference people. Number one is understand we probably would have already been in a conference if it wasn't for the anti-Catholic, anti-immigrant bigotry of Michigan and Fielding Yost. We already probably would have been in. So you have your own people to blame on that one for being so bigoted against us. That's your fault. Could add us. The funny thing is, them rejecting and blackballing the Big Ten blackballing Notre Dame ended up being the best thing for Notre Dame because it forced Notre Dame to become a national brand. That rejection made Rockne get the team on these trains and go to New York and go to LA and go everywhere and play. Best thing that could have ever happened for our brand to get it national instead of regional. So it ended up helping us. But here's my other point on this. Anybody could be independent. Sometimes this independence thing is spoken about in a way that makes you think it's some special little thing made for Notre Dame. Any of you could be independent. If you think it's that easier of a life and an easier path in sports and football and whatever, why doesn't your team do it? Get your own TV network, fund your own operation, build your own schedule, do it all yourself without a conference helping you and sharing the TV money with you and whatever. Do it all on your own if you think it's such an easy path and so favorable. What's that? You don't have the resources? You don't have the brand reach? You don't have the money? Oh, okay. Not my problem. Your problem. Oh, that's not fair. Life's not fair. Deal with it, bro. Life's not fair. Why do you think football should be fair? The reality is there is under a handful of brands in this country that could do the independent thing the way Notre Dame does. Michigan could probably do it. Ohio State could probably do it. Like there are some teams that could, Texas probably, but it's a very small amount. Even some of these big brand SEC teams, I don't think they have national reach. It's just every single person in the state is a diehard. I don't think some of them have national reach the way they think. So I'm just telling you, if it's that easy, why doesn't your school do it? And if the answer is we don't have the resources, that is not my problem. That is your problem. That is your problem. Sorry, life's not fair. Deal with it. So that's what I got on this. And I got to say, man, I really appreciate you. I just appreciate your guys' dedication, man. Everybody there for the morning show. And then nobody was happy when I wasn't able to go live. People were checking on my health. People were disappointed. They had to focus on work instead of the show. I love you guys so much. We have created such a healthy, great community. I really appreciate it. And then we'll be live on the post-game show. In the meantime, we'll see you on the Patreon chat later.